Hey, so we're integrating directly from our own Nextcloud here. So I hope that the remote works. Yeah, okay. Collabora Online, yeah, powerful document editing, you know that. It's ready to integrate with virtually everything. And by ready, sometimes there is more work, but it should work. This is a good sample of our partner and their integrations. There is some companies, some open source projects, some very specific solutions. There is a lot more than that. Some examples. So Pristy, which is a system based on Alfresco by Jesse, a French company, like that. Aridia, they're based in Great Britain. They do secure digital research, and they provide Collabora Online to be able to edit all these documents that are part of that research. Drupal, the CMS, I wrote that module a while ago, so you can integrate Collabora Online with your Drupal system. Digit for the European Commission has been working on improving it. They were here last year and in Budapest they presented. But yeah, it's like your toolkit with Drupal, you can integrate. EasyMind, so another integration on a product. eGroupware, I think we have eGroupware people here. That's part of their system. LDoc, another document management system from a customer. I think this one is legal oriented, so contracts and whatnot. Ilias, it's a German e-learning platform. They will have their conference here in Hamburg in September. For the little stories, they added the WOP integration into Ilias, not for Microsoft Office, but for Collabora Online, because Microsoft wanted to charge them too much money for using it. I mean, charge institutions. So somebody said, okay, let's do with Collabora Online, and then you can figure out how much you want to pay for that. With Collabora, of course. Intermesh, that's another one. Moodle, another e-learning platform. You can add documents. You can also use it for testing, like submitting work to the system directly in it. So there are two modules. It's maintained by the community. Open Cloud, I think, yeah, that's quite new. It's a fork of OnCloud. I think they are here too. Nextcloud, yeah, Nextcloud. So that's what we're using right now. That's exactly the same slide. The style you see, it's our own setup here at Collabora Productivity. So you can customize it to your taste or have the basic Nextcloud look that's look nice too. OpenText, formerly Microfocus. It's big companies are working on their own integration on their system. High Drive, I think that's a cloud drive based in India, if I'm not mistaken. XWiki, we have people from XWiki here integrating Collabora Online into the wiki. So, integration example. This will be with WordPress, so I didn't mention WordPress in the list, but there is a WordPress module to integrate Collabora Online. So basically, you are in the editor. You can decide to add, see the cool block. So there's a new block editor in WordPress. You will add that. You will add that block. Select a document, and it will be available in your post, and people that have permissions can view it. So when you click on it, that's show like that. You notice at the top of the bar, that's the WordPress admin bar if you are logged in, etc. And so you see the document is right there. That's some slides. The architecture of an integration, basically you have the browser, which will be displaying everything. You have cool WSD, which is Collabora Online, and you have the storage with WOP, which is, in that case, WordPress. So everything that you're going to make are either in WordPress or to be run by the browser as a web page. That integration, we had the goal that was simple. We wanted to be able to view attached documents directly. We wanted to reuse WordPress user credentials because most of the people see WordPress as, oh, I'm just viewing a blog. But when you are maintaining a WordPress blog, you have users with editing permissions and whatnot. We wanted to integrate through the editor. So any person that can publish a post on that WordPress system just need to use the editor, nothing special to do. And of course, using the WordPress UI whenever possible, like selecting documents and whatnot. So WordPress, some concept. I'm going to be maybe diving a bit too much here, I don't know. Everything is a post. So a document you attach is a post. Media files are attached to a post. Our Office files that we will be viewing with Collabora Online, they are also media files, like an image. So you just upload it like you upload an image to your WordPress. And because we have that notion of version, it's decided that a new revision of the document is a post. So the WOP host. The WOP host is, from the standpoint of an integration, the part that will have the files and the part that will display. So the web page is hosted on the WOP host, and your files are served by the WOP host. Collabora Online is the WOP client, just to clarify. WordPress has API to create endpoints, REST endpoints, and that's what we're going to use for the storage. So we register a URL using the WordPress API. It's relatively simple. There's just a little caveat, is that the URL is supposed to have a certain form that's documented. It's like file / something, something, something. And by default, WordPress isn't configured to work like that. But by default, WordPress URL, they show a P and a number for each post, and most of people don't like that, so they will have disabled that and moved to a better system where you have numbers and words into URLs and more readable, which is not that option plain, which is by default. So that's just a problem I encountered, or usually say, why doesn't it work? And then I realize, oh yeah, it's because they need to do some magic to look nicer. For the storage, there is three things that the Collabora Online want to do. Collabora want to check the file info. So that's initially when you get asked to open a document in Collabora Online. Collabora Online will ask the WOP host about the file. That's where we get information about permissions. That's where it verifies that you can access the file. That's very important. And if you can't, then no, sorry. And it returns, the payload, which is some information about properties of the file, etc. And if everything is clear here, then it will likely get the file. I said likely. We are in a collaborative environment. If there's already somebody viewing the files and there is nothing else to do, but we have already checked that you can join the session by that and whatnot. And there is nothing special to do on our side, on the host side, to handle collaboration here. So this is really, there is no magic. There is a lot of magic, but nothing to do here. So get files that will, again, check the token. We don't want to have a situation where, oh, well, we said okay, but then next time, no, you can no longer, but then you get the file anyway. So we check the token again, and then we send the file, if needed. And then put file is the other way. We send the file to save, again, checking the token, checking that the token is meant to be used for writing, and then that the user is meant to allow being allowed to write the document. So that's what we have in that WordPress module integration. This is really not a lot of code. Most of the time you spend more time, if you don't know WordPress, understanding the API than actually writing that. I mentioned the token for the security. So the access token is something that we pass around, but we have no idea what it contains. When you want to open the document, your system, the WP host, will generate a token, which is a string of something that can be passed in a URL. And then when Collabora Online, the WP client, wants to open the file, check file info, for example, it will pass back that token that will be checked, etc. So that's very, for us, we don't care what it is, that's your system. So there is chances that you don't need to do a lot of complex work if you already did that somewhere else to be able to check user credentials. Don't forget that the token get passed back and forth. So it's better to have a token that's just for a user, so each user has its own token, and that it doesn't cannot be used for more than that. But that's like everything else. It's not. In the case of the WordPress integration, in the token, it's a JSON web token, and the payload, which is the data, the useful data you put in the token that is then going to get signed, contain 4 different fields. One is a user ID, and that's the one we check, making sure we use the user ID of the user that wants to use the document, and then we check when he checks the credentials. FID, which is a file ID, that's the file that you want to open. Once again, if we try to open a file that's not the same with that token, we say no, no. Expiration, we want the token to have a certain lifetime. 24 hours by default seems to be reasonable, but you can change that. And WRI, this means write. If it's set to true, that means you can save the file, that means you can edit, otherwise it will be read only, and a put file will definitely fail with that. It's always important to check that. The token being signed, the data inside that token is always valid. If you try to change the data in there to forge the token but not signing it again, the token will not validate, it will be rejected. But that's JWT, so that's how it works. Just use the PHP module for that. For the front end, created a new page in WordPress. So there's some HTML with some PHP. It contains the iframe for Collabora Online. WordPress will generate the token when we want to trigger viewing or editing that document. And WordPress will also be in charge of fetching the WP discovery to build the client URL. So the WP discovery is an XML document at a specific URL on Collabora Online that will return the capabilities. So it will list what kind of document it can open, how it can open them. Sometimes it's only read-only. And it will be used to determine the URL to build for the Collabora Online frame. So you can fetch it once every whatever, it's not changed often, but it's important because the URL may vary depending on the session and whatnot. So anyway, it's part of the standard process for integrating. So yeah, I mentioned the discovery. It's at the hosting discovery HTTP endpoint on your Collabora Online server. So it's XML, it's easily parsed. It's part of the WP standard. The WP standard, I forgot to mention, is Microsoft standard. We try to be compatible with what they define so that we can be compatible with applications that support Microsoft Office on the web. So that's like some XPath to find the things, etc. That's like a bit of code detail. For editing for users, I said I support the editor. So I'm not a big fan of the, yeah, I will be quick. I'm not a big fan of the Gutenberg editor, so I support what they call shortcuts in the regular editor. So if you type within square brackets Collabora Online with the file ID and the mode, it will insert a button to open, view the document. So you upload the document here. They are listed here when you want to select them. And with the block editor, that's how it goes. So this is the old style, but the new style here, you insert a cool block I mentioned earlier. You click select, you have that UI that you saw just before here to select the document. The number will be there. It's a bit, but it will just insert whatever you need and it will work. And this is a blog post. Hello world. You have one attachment here. Edit, that means you can edit it. It will change if the user that uses the page doesn't have the right to edit, to view if it can. And that other one here, click view, you will open. And yeah, so the source code is available on our GitHub. The plugin is available on WordPress. You can just install it from there. And that's part of all these integration that can integrate Collabora Online. And you can do the same with your own product. Check the SDK that has all the documentation for the Collabora side. And that's it. So integrating, benefit, we work together with a product that works with both. It's flexible, you do whatever you want in terms of pricing, in the sense that you can restrict to whoever wants to can use it. And we are here to help you technically if you have problems with integrating. That's part of my job. And if you have questions and whatnot, you can still get in touch with us. It's all open source, so we are not hiding any tricks. Our integrations are open source. It's yours. So we'll do whatever you want, but our side is always open source. And yeah, that's it. Thank you.